What is up, everybody? T-Off Sports here from Win Daily Sports, and I'll be taking you through my course breakdown for this week's Sony Open. Designed in 1925 by Seth Rayner, Waialae Country Club has seen a few modifications over the last 100 years, including a 2016 renovation by Tom Doak to restore the original feel back to the layout. All of that radiates out of the course with its flat, tedious setup that emphasizes par 4 scoring and ball striking, but it's paramount to remember that while we will be staying in Hawaii for the second consecutive week, the only parallels that I could spot between the two properties were the Hawaiian Bermuda-style grass and similar resemblance when it comes to ease. Fairways are much more challenging to hit here, which is why we will experience a 21% decrease from what we encountered last weekend. And that factor, mixed with the predictability I'll get to in a second for other areas, has helped to make this course the second highest in terms of rollover success on tour. We see some of that consistency come into play with the emphasized proximity distribution out of Waialae from 125 to 200 yards, a range that creates 12.7% more impact here than a typical test. And the 67.5% expectation from that 75-yard bucket helps to construct this unique examination that pinpoints a specific sort of golfer. I started my model with weighted proximity for 17.5%. We don't have to look any further than the consolidated proximity distances that I mentioned a second ago between 125 to 200 yards to realize Waialae demands excellence from mid-iron play. I took 25% weighted ball striking. That's something that I created in my model. If you want to follow me on Twitter at @TOffSports. I do think there could be an overcorrection DFS users take since the reduction of fairways hit at this property drops from 62% to 53%. An answer that immediately makes you want to overweigh the entire piece of the pie. But we're still dealing with a relatively open course that does start to accentuate accuracy when we look at the tree line setup of the grounds and strategic makeup that rewards a heightened GIR rate. That explanation should point us in the direction of some recalculated combination of total driving. For what it's worth, I use a 2x split of accuracy over distance, and I then merge in a 50-50 mix of my newly created driving category and my 2-year sample size for GIR to create this new weight on my model. Weighted birdie or better, 10%. I took 90% of my weight from only the top 15 easiest scoring courses on tour and blended that outcome in with 10% of all birdie totals over a longer duration time of a course that could take place anywhere. Weighted scoring from all holes, 17.5%. That incorporated expected proximity ranges, each hole that has been played daily, and then the anticipated strength for each yardage amount to yield a brand new category. I did 15% on strokes gain at total at easy courses and also under 7,200 yards. That should provide this course-specific category that's interesting since it integrates numbers that can't be argued in any sense of the imagination. Every non-wind derailed iteration of this contest has been easy, and the venue has played under my specified yardage total year after year. And then I wrapped it up with strokes gain Bermuda plus Bermuda putting for 15%. I took a 75% split when it comes to strokes gain at all Bermuda courses and added in 25% Bermuda putting. To be honest, I do not love to weigh anything with the flat stick in my model, but the 3.1% increase in dispersion of scoring with that portion of a golfer's game was pronounced enough that I didn't want to overlook it entirely. You could argue going with a more equal distribution may have been better to avoid some of the bullish outcomes that I did come up with in my model, but I always prefer attempting to pinpoint upside in the form of long-term metrics like ball striking and hoping to get an outlier performance elsewhere. If you aren't doing so already, you can follow me on Twitter at @TOffSports and be sure to catch more great content like this over from everyone on the Win Daily team. Thank you for tuning in today and good luck this week at the Sony Open. May all your bets win.